Hello students, as you can see today's topic is electric flux and Gauss law, and this topic is very important as well as interesting. Have you seen my previous videos? Because it will be the best way to connect with today's topic. If you have seen, then it will be highly beneficial for you, so I suggest you to watch my previous video first. Okay, so let's start today's topic, that is electric flux. Before going towards electric flux, let's understand the term flux. What is flux? Flux means some kind of flow. It means it implies flow. It is used to represent strength of a vector field. Strength of a vector field can be represented just like electric field that you have learned in my previous video. The strength of electric field can be represented by the term flux, which we call electric flux. Similarly, in next coming units we will learn about magnetic field, and its strength can be calculated or estimated by using a term that is magnetic field. Okay, so electric flux, it will tell us about the strength of electric field. Similarly, magnetic flux. So we will deal about electric flux in our today's topic. What is electric flux? Before going towards what is electric flux, it must be known to you that what is the importance of study of electric flux. It will tell us about the strength of a particular field, that is electric field. As we know that electric field are represented by electric field lines, and number of electric field lines in a particular region determine the strength of electric field. Number of electric field lines in a particular region, it will determine strength of electric field. So this will call as electric flux. So what is electric flux? It is the number of electric field lines in a particular area, in a particular region, in a particular surface. It will tell us about the strength of electric field. If in a particular region electric field lines are overcrowded, then we will say that electric field is strong in that region. But if the lines are far apart, then electric field lines being far apart represent a region in which electric field is weak as compared to the previous one. Okay, so what is electric flux? It is the number of field lines passing, or I may call it crossing, a particular area normally. Why I am mentioning here normally, it will be clear to you. If I am taking an example, just like that, I am having this surface, this area. Okay, if I will keep this scale as an example in a region perpendicular to the field lines which are crossing or piercing the scale, then what will happen? By placing the scale normally to the field line, maximum number of field line will cross the surface. But if for the same electric field, if I will keep my scale along the field lines, it means field lines are this way, this way, this way, this way, But if I will keep in this way, then number of field lines crossing a particular area will be less. So by changing the orientation of area, the angle between electric field and area changes, due to which number of field lines passing through a particular area changes. So it means I can say that electric flux, it depends upon orientation. Orientation means what? That is the angle between surface and electric field vector direction. Okay, it all depends upon orientation. So as to deal with this angle or orientation, we have to first study area vector. Up to now we have considered area is a scalar quantity. Up to class 11th it is considered to be scalar one, having magnitude but no direction. But in certain cases, considering area to be a vector is not only important or compulsory for us, but also convenient to deal with particular situation. So in this topic we will consider area as a vector quantity. For example, let I am drawing a coordinate axis system x, y, z, and there is a square, or I may call it a rectangle, having length a and breadth b. Then what will be the area? This one. Length is along x-axis, which is represented by I cap, and breadth is along y-axis, which is represented by j cap. Now tell me, what about the direction of area? Area is this one. Will it be along x-axis or y-axis? Area will be this, which can be treated just like a square in this way. It means it is neither along x-axis nor along y-axis, but it is perpendicular to x and y both. It means area vector. Vector means unit vector. So as to deal with direction, it will be perpendicular to both x-axis and y-axis. Okay. When we want a vector to be perpendicular to the two given vector, we represent it in the terms of cross product. So a vector, that is equal to a vector, that is length, b vector, that is breadth, and a vector is a I cap and b vector is b j cap. Okay, a is the length, b is the breadth, so area will be ab, but I cross b will be k cap. It means area is having magnitude AB and its direction is k cap. K cap means it is perpendicular to the plane in which length and breadth has been contained. So area of this rectangle is AB magnitude and k cap is its direction. What conclusion you have received up to now? The direction of this vector will be perpendicular to both length as well as breadth. But actually for any two-dimensional surfaces or two-dimensional plane, area vector can have any two direction. For the present case, it may be k cap or minus k cap. Okay, it means for this area, area vector may be upward or downward. if I will keep it like this, then its area vector will be have two direction, one along positive and second one along negative. It means it may have any two. Now these two surfaces are considered to be plane surfaces. Okay. Now come to the second surfaces, that is for three-dimensional surfaces. We call it solid surfaces. For solid surfaces, area vector situation can be understood considering a cube or a cuboid. It is a solid surface. Okay. Now being a solid surface, it is having 6 faces or 6 planes or 6 surfaces. If I call it 1, it means for this surface it is having two possible case, one along left and second one along right. One along left and second one along right. But for three-dimensional surfaces, only one case is to be considered, as per assumption, only outward vector, not the inward vector. It means the vector within the surface is not considered to be the area vector. In this case, this is the area vector. Okay, area vector for first surface. If I am mentioning here the second one, that is the top surface, for this there are two possible cases, one above the plane and one below the plane passing through the body. We have to consider the outward one, so we will consider this. Same is the case about right one. For the right one, that is for the third case, one vector will be within the body and second one outside the body. We have to consider only this one. Okay, it means I can say that for two-dimensional surfaces, two cases, either inward or outward, both are possible, so we can consider both of them. But for three-dimensional, it means for solid surfaces, we have to consider only outward vector, only outward. As for dealing with electric flux, we will deal about Gauss law. इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स को समझने के लिए हम यहाँ आगे Gauss law को स्टडी करेंगे, एंड Gauss law इज एप्लीकेबल only for solid surfaces, only for solid means three-dimensional surfaces. So that's why we can define area vector is a vector normal to surface, and it is always in outward direction. So what is area vector? Normal outward. Okay, magnitude remaining the same as that of the area, and its direction will be normal to the surface and outward in direction. Okay, it was the case for area vector. For example, so as to clear about area vector, examples of area vector for three-dimensional surfaces, we have considered cube or cuboid, where 6 faces are there, and for each and every face, when we have to find out the direction of area vector, then only we will consider normal outward. How it will be? For this one will be the direction of area vector. For the uppermost surface acting like a ceiling of a room, then this will be the direction. For the rightmost, this will be the direction of area vector. For the bottommost, this one will be the area vector direction, and for the front one outward coming, and for the back one inward piercing the surface of our notebook, it will be the possible direction. Okay, you have to consider number one normal and second one outward. Okay, so as to make our next topic clear, let us take an example of cylindrical body. Okay, cylindrical body has three surfaces or three faces. Just I have told you that cube or cuboid has six faces. I have told what are the possible direction of six faces, not drawn being two-dimensional surface, but I have told you front as well as back one. But now we have to consider which one, that is a cylindrical body. Cylindrical body has three surfaces, two flat surfaces and one curved. For this flat surfaces which is in right, area vector will be along this, and for the left one area vector will be along this, because for this two possible, one inside the cylindrical body and one outside, but we have to consider outer one. Same is the case, one outside one inside, we have not to consider this one, same is the case. And for the curved one, the possible cases are this. To make the practical clear, let us consider the pen in my hand. It is having two flat surfaces just like top and bottom one, and one curved surfaces. For this one area vector will be along right, for this one area vector will be along left, and for this curved one area vector will be normal outward. And if I am considering bottom one, the same area vector not piercing the body, it means outward. Okay, so I have told you the three surfaces have different area vector by considering the example of solid cylinder. Okay, so area vector is clear to you. Now continue with our topic, that is electric flux. Electric flux, number of field lines passing through a area normally. Okay, number of field lines in an area depends upon number one electric field. If in a particular area electric field is strong, then field line number will be more. More the field line, then what will happen for a particular area A? Electric flux will be more. If for the same area I am taking electric field lines overcrowded, then what will happen? Number of field lines passing through same area A will be more. What conclusion have you got? Number of field lines passing through an area depends upon electric field. Stronger the electric field, more will be the number crossing. Weaker the electric field, less will be the number crossing. It means it depends upon number one electric field in that area. Okay. Second case, it depends upon area also. If for the same electric field, if I am considering small area, then only one or two field line will pierce. But larger the area, large or more number of the field lines will cross. It means it all depends upon area also. Clear? Third case. important to be clear. If for this case, if I am keeping area not in a normal direction but in horizontal direction, it means I am keeping my area or surface like this. What will happen? What will happen, students? Imagine it in 3 dimension, just like hand, and field lines will not pierce, only they will touch. Only touching will be there. Field lines will not pierce, field line will not pass through the surface. It means orientation change करने से flux भी change करता है. In this case, electric field is along left and area vector, yes, tell me for this, area vector is along left. Both are along same direction, then theta will be 0 degree. If theta 0, in that case flux is more or maximum. But for the second case, when they are touching, electric field is along right, and for this area vector will be perpendicular to area in outward or in inward direction. It means in 3 dimension, along z-axis perpendicular to the plane of paper, then in this case theta will be 90 degree and flux will be less. Why less? Because no one field line will pass. It means flux will be less. As flux is less for 90 degree and more for 0 degree, so we will consider here cos theta, because cos 0 degree is 1 and cos 90 degree is 0. If angle 0, then maximum answer, angle 90 minimum possible answer. From this we conclude that electric flux in a particular area depends upon field in that area magnitude and orientation, angle between electric field and area vector. Clear up to now? We have to combine these all. So electric flux in a particular area is given by EA cos theta, where theta is the angle between electric field vector and area vector. Clear? Now, if for a rough or a curved surface having total area S, we have to find out electric field for a small region having area ds, and electric field in that particular region will be E. Then what will be the flux? Flux for a small region can be represented by the symbol d phi E. E for electric, flux which is for a small region d phi E. Following the same rule, that is phi E that is equal to EA cos theta, it means it can be represented as dot product of two vector E vector and A vector. Now we can represent it E vector dot ds vector. E is the electric field and ds is the area considered. It will be the electric flux for a small region. Continuing in the same manner, if I have to find out the electric flux for this region, I will mention here d phi E. For second region, it was for first region. Okay. Now electric field in that region is E2 having area ds2. Dot product of this will give us flux. Now total electric flux, it will be equal to the sum of these all, d phi En, that is equal to En dot dsn. Total electric flux will be equal to the flux due to first one, it means assumed to be E1, flux due to second one plus up to flux due to last one. We have to add these. It means E1 vector dot ds1 vector plus E2 vector dot ds2 vector and so on, En vector dot dsn vector. When very small area are there, then number of area will be infinity. Okay, in that case summation का meaning add up, summation will change into integration. कब हम इंटीग्रेट करते हैं? जब जो टर्म्स हैं टू बी एडेड आर वेरी स्मॉल एंड सो क्लोज, कंबाइनिंग ऑल इट विल बी गिवन बाय इंटीग्रेशन. सो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ फ्लक्स टोटल? टोटल फ्लक्स विल बी गिवन बाय ई वेक्टर डॉट डी एस vector over closed region. What is this? This is the surface. What is this? Integration, surface integral of what? Electric field. Surface integral of electric field. What is this? Over closed surface. Closed means 3-dimension surface. S. Read this again. Surface integral of electric field over any closed surface. That is given by phi total. Phi total is E vector dot ds. So you have to learn this. What is the formula for flux? E vector dot ds integral. Okay, so electric flux phi E, that is equal to summation for small area having area delta Si, and electric field in that particular area is Ei. We have to add all the flux elements from 1 to n in such a way that each small area is so small tending to 0, due to which number of area element will tending to infinite. In that case, summation will convert into integration, and integration is done for 3-dimensional surface, which is termed to be closed surface. So I am mentioning here closed surface. Okay, so what is electric flux nature? As it is obtained by dot product of two vector, electric field and area vector. So dot product results scalar quantity. So it is a So it is a scalar quantity. Number 1. What is its unit? It is obtained by product of the unit of electric field and area vector. What is the unit of electric field? Have you remembered? In our previous video we have learnt by Newton per coulomb and area meter square. So it will be Newton meter square per coulomb. It is its unit. It can be represented as Newton meter square coulomb inverse. And what is its dimensional formula? For dimensional formula you have to focus on formula itself. Flux is equal to E vector dot A vector, and opening this we will get EA cos theta. Electric field, that is equal to force per unit charge into area into cos theta. What is the dimensional formula for force? That is M1 L1 T minus 2. What is for charge? Charge is A T. Okay, what is for area? Area is L square. All the trigonometric ratios are dimensionless. Okay, so no dimension. Combining these all, we will get the dimensional formula. What it will be? M1 L3 T minus 3 A minus 1 within the square bracket. So it is all about electric flux. Okay. Now what is Gauss law or what is Gauss theorem? Gauss theorem, it gives us a relationship between flux Flux means number of field line passing through an area normally. It gives a relation between number of field lines and Q. Q is the charge enclosing in a particular area. And its statement is given by mathematically phi, that is flux, electric flux. That's formula we have derived right now. E vector dot ds, that is equal to 1 upon में epsilon naught times of the charge enclosed. So what will be its statement? The statement of Gauss theorem is that electric flux through any closed surface is 1 upon epsilon naught times of the net charge enclosed by the closed surface. So how can we write that total flux through a closed surface? Closed means three-dimensional. Total flux through a closed surface is 1 upon epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed within the surface. It means what is the amount of charge present within the surface, within the closed body, it will determine the amount of electric flux, number of field lines. So only by knowing the charge enclosed within the surface dividing by epsilon naught, we will calculate the flux flowing from the body. What does it mean? It is an important and interesting topic that is used to calculate number of field lines. How? Only by putting the value of charge, putting the value of net charge and dividing by epsilon naught. Okay, so this is done from today's session. I hope you have learned the each and every concept I have discussed here. If you are enjoying the class, then please share it with your friends. Okay, if you are having any query, you may ask me in comment box. Okay, meet you soon in next video. Till then, have a nice day.